Welcome in on what has been a wet and downright dreary Wednesday. It is Wednesday, October the 16th, halfway through the month. Hard to believe. I'm Katie Clevenger here for Ritt today, and it's good to be back with you all. I haven't been back since, I think, July, so I'm really glad to be here. And we'll get your weather forecast here in just a little bit. I took a sneak peek of that, folks, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you there is the number 30 in your forecast. 30-something. Oh, I can't believe it. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to start things off in Danville, Kentucky. A Southern Kentucky pastor is charged in a triple murder, and he went before a judge today. Kenneth Keith entered a not guilty plea in Boyle County via a video system. Police say that Keith shot and killed Michael and Angela Hawkinsmith along with Daniel Smith back on September the 20th. The murder happened inside the ABC Gold Games and More shop owned by the Hawkinsmiths on 4th Street in Danville. A judge denied bond for Keith, and there were also motions made in court by Keith's attorneys to preserve evidence. A preliminary hearing has been set for next Wednesday at 1:30. We'll keep you updated on that story. A Floyd County man who admitted to stealing from a grave was sentenced Tuesday, but not before getting a stern lecture from a judge. When Evelina Osborne buried her 19-year-old son Anthony nearly 7 years ago, she never expected someone would begin stealing from his grave. Last month, Randall Vickers pleaded guilty to the crime and stood in front of the court yesterday to be sentenced. He apologized, and the judge really didn't care what he had to say. His apology did not hold much merit with the judge. Judge Caudle gave him a stern talking to. He shamed the boy, and the prosecutor's recommendations of 2 years in jail with probation after 120 days was set. Osborne hopes she can now pay her respects at her son's gravesite in peace. Vickers was taken back to the Floyd County Jail to finish out his sentence. A group of lawmakers from 16 southern states this week created a resolution supporting the coal industry. Members of the Southern States Energy Board at their annual meeting passed the resolution, which asks the Environmental Protection Agency to reconsider new regulations on coal-fired power plants. The regulations that were handed down, there's not any technology that will allow new coal-fired power plants to meet the standards that the EPA is trying to pass and put in place, said Representative Rocky Adkins, Democrat from Sandy Hook. Adkins is also the vice chair of the SSEB and the majority floor leader of the Kentucky House. Kentucky Coal Association President Bill Bissett said, "What's important is to realize that about 1/4 of Kentucky's coal production stays in Kentucky and the rest of it goes to southeastern United States, which are mostly manufacturing states. So this resolution is important, and I think it shows a commitment to our coal industry." Supporters of the EPA's regulations argue that they are necessary to ensure clean air and water and to prevent the effects of global warming. The U.S. Supreme Court Tuesday agreed to consider whether the EPA overstepped its authority developing those regulations on power plants. The case will be argued in early 2014. And the government shutdown may be over with. A Republican senator says she understands Senate leaders have reached an agreement to avoid a Treasury default and reopen the government after a 16-day partial shutdown. A senator from New Hampshire made her comments today as she walked into a meeting of Senate Republicans in Leader Mitch McConnell's office. She says the leaders would make a formal announcement. The government would reopen through January 15th, and Treasury would be allowed to increase the nation's borrowing authority through February the 7th. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I want to be your family lawyer. If you've been injured on the job, if you're interested in getting your Social Security disability or SSI benefits, or if you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, or basically, if a car wreck has caused you to suffer pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
Salyersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is proud to announce the newest members of our family, Administrator Lane Jones and our full-time chaplain Mark Campbell and volunteer Richard Green, new faces with the same sincere desire as these, to assist you and your family with short-term rehabilitation solutions or long-term nursing care needs, close to home and those that you love. Salyersville Nursing and Rehabilitation. Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 o'clock only at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where Thursday is Dipper Day. That's right, get our boneless wing dipper meal with your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.99 or only $4.29 after 4 p.m. only at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new Magoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. Bailey's Furniture has done it again. This beautiful queen-size sleigh bed, media center, and matching chest are only $295 each, whether you buy one or buy them all. And you can save $400 and get a second nightstand with this gorgeous Von Bassett group. Lazy Boy rocker recliners start at $295 and Catnapper lift chairs start at $689 at Bailey's Furniture and GE Appliance Center.
Several accidents occurred today due to all this slippery, wet weather we've been having, but none of them had any serious injuries to report. Do take extra caution out there, folks, with this wet weather we're having. And now for this, folks, here is a great story. This first part is about a local woman and her horse. It is about against all odds and the advice of many experts. She had consulted Avavian Deaton of A&J Farms on Middle Fork, nurtured a young foal born on her farm, and gave her a chance at a normal, comfortable life.
And how after countless days, nights, and hours all turned into months of hard work and dedication, the horse known as Summer would be sold against Avavian's wishes and then miraculously found more than 12 years later.
I was born here at this farm. We bred her to a guy's stallion in Jackson. And when she was born, of course, she was born with this problem here. And nobody seemed to think that that was correctable. I contacted UK because I wanted to see if there was a mineral deficiency or what caused her to be born this way. UK wouldn't take her. They sent Russell Sparks out here to videotape her. He did, sent the tape back to the equine place in Lexington, and they said, no, put her down. So he brought a voucher out for me to sign that they would pay the vet bills if I would agree for someone to come out and put her down. And I said, no. I told Russell I would not put her down. David Fugit had just gotten out of vet school, and he was eager to try to learn stuff and to help people, and he came out, him and his assistant, Tommy Vest. And when they came up with the way to do PVC pipe to make her a set of legs to where she could try to learn to stand on them, which consisted of a lot of work. Every day those had to be changed and taken off, and her feet had to be exercised. Her hoof began to rot, and over the years she finally learned to stand. It took several months of her wearing them casts, and she learned to nurse by standing on them. And then finally she learned to actually get out to where she could walk around on them. But of course she broke them, and we had to get thicker PVC pipe for her. And eventually then she learned to do her thing on them, and she learned to stand. And after about 5 months then, this is what developed with a lot of work and a lot of patience by David Fugit. That's her at 5 months old. She was able to stand, her legs were straight, she didn't need cast or anything.
As for Dr. David Fugit, he admits he was green, and he recalls thinking to himself that if UK and the likes of which can help Summer, then there's really no reason to think I can.
But on the other hand, you know, anytime somebody says, well, you can't, well, my first reaction is, boy, I feel like a cry, you know. So when we looked at it, that foal had no support mechanism on the back of her legs. Her extensor tendons weren't formed right. And I couldn't find anything in the literature. May get a little urine on, sir, that's all right. I couldn't find anything in the literature on how to fix that. So we just did what I thought was common sense. Let's put a brace on them. Let's support her. If Avian will do the elbow work, and she did, obviously, you know, most people wouldn't have done that. Yeah. It'd be that diligent with it to do it that long a period of time. And it you know, it worked. I don't take any credit for that. It was Avian and the good Lord that fixed it. The braces played a little part in it, but, you know, Avian did all the hard work in it. It was really just one of those things that it was meant to be, I feel like. And then for her to, you know, when a horse leaves your property, unless it goes to your next door neighbor and they're good friends and are able to tell you what they did with it, man, your chances of finding a horse that left your property, you know, outside of a registered animal, you know, thoroughbred or something, you could track down, but just a good country saddle horse, once it leaves your property, it's hard to keep tabs on it.
Dr. Fugit's exactly right. At 14 months old, Avavian says Summer was sold from her farm against her wishes, and for 12 long years she's desperately wanted her back. A search that intensified over the last couple of years, most recently over the last year or so with the help and support of her husband Ricky. And over the past several months, she and he have been distributing flyers, posting pictures, advertisements, internet posts, and any other means possible, but all being unsuccessful.
We got a lead at the vet clinic of where she might be, and I started tracking the leads down, and Friday night we run across her. One of the guys in Johnson County owned her, and we went over there and seen her, and he was willing for me to have her back. So we took a trailer and brought her home. I seen her in the field. I called to her, and she come right up to me, and of course I was crying and hugging and loving all at the same time. And my husband Ricky, which we've only been married a little over a year now, and he always said if we could find her, he'd buy her back no matter what. So I didn't even know it, and I was saying my goodbyes, thought, okay, I've seen her, she's healthy, she's good shape. And I go back to the truck, and Ricky says, well, we better hurry, we got to come back. And I said, why? He said, the guys agreed to let you have the horse back. And he said, I've told him I'd come back and pick her up in a few minutes. So it was a mad rush to get home, get her trailer, and get back in case he changed his mind, decided he wanted to keep her. So he made the deal, and he brought her back home for me.
The take home for me is we don't know everything. And I don't use ever or never very much, or, you know, 100% no. I also don't use 100% yes, or I know it's going to get better very much either. You just learn that life's got a lot of wiggle room.
She's definitely a miracle, because nobody gave her a nickel when she was born. And now, 12 years later, I got her back, and she's as sound as any horse here on this farm. We got 7, and she's just as rambunctious as any of them. Ain't she?
Turns out Summer was still papered as Summer's Grace of Glory, as she was when she was born on A&J Farm. And fortunately for Summer, and for Avavian too, she'd been well cared for by 4 different owners in various parts of Kentucky, as far away as the central part of the state.
I think, man, you can't, it's good to not lose hope. And to get so callous that, well, I just know it can't get any better. And there's a fine line. If someone's suffering and feeling, you know, a great amount of pain, you know, I don't know how long I'm willing to tinker around with some kind of new thing, hoping that it's going to work, because I ain't the one suffering in pain. But this foal really wasn't in pain. He just couldn't stand without assistance. And you know, when you're young, you're so resilient. Young animals, young babies are so resilient. And I think just sometimes letting Mother Nature do her job and giving things a chance, if you will, sometimes you'll be surprised pleasantly.
Surprised is a good word. Not so pleasantly surprised at Summer's birth or her condition that she had when she was born, or at the recommendation and offers to have her put down, or the sometimes slow or near absent results in the daily hours of rehab, or at losing Summer for 12 long years, but overwhelmingly surprised on the other side of the scale at the outcome of the love invested in just seeing that Summer not become a work or a trail horse, even though she could today, but just enjoy a good quality of life. And the elated surprise when she made her way back to Bear Branch after 12 years on the road.
But I think she's glad to be home.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Stop by to see how, with a guaranteed trade-in, you can drive off in this gorgeous 2011 Hyundai Sonata for $17,950 or $299 a month, or how to drive off with a little soul for $12,950 or $235 a month, or how to drive off with a lot of style in this Dodge Ram Daytona at $15,950, all at Premier Motors in Paintsville. 170s, 500, 570, 800, 900s, 2 seats, 4 seats, Razors, Rangers, and XPs in the hottest colors with the coolest accessories with the best financing available and rebates up to $1,000 at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Whether you want to be feared or favored, funny or frightful this Halloween, Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop has everything you'll ever need for the mood or effect you desire. And while we never know just how colorful our natural landscape will be at autumn, we are for always certain the season is vibrant inside the region's largest selection of fall and home decor. So come and see what surprises and delights await you at Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville.
Fall is here, and it's time to rake in the savings at Home Furniture. Come in now for the largest sale ever on select bedroom suites. Prices have been drastically reduced, up to 40% off. All in-stock recliners are buy one, get one half off. Purchase a big screen TV, get a soundbar free. Seasons may change, but we'll always have financing available for everyone, guaranteed. Come in today while supplies last and take advantage of these huge savings at Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
And we'll now take a look at your local community calendar. Senior Citizen Center will be giving out food boxes on Thursday, October the 12th. That is tomorrow from 12:30 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. The Salyersville Free Will Baptist Church and Pastor Floyd Arnott invites all to services with Todd Masters Friday and Saturday, October the 18th and 19th at 7 p.m. and on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Kelly Caudle will begin services Sunday night at 6 p.m. and Monday at 7 p.m. And here is to all the Vietnam veterans. If you are interested in participating in this year's Veterans Day celebration with the DAV Chapter 15, at the Magoffin County High School on 11/11/2013 at 11 a.m. Please contact Jeremy Holbrook at 606-367-3734 or Henry Joseph at 606-349-5235. By November 1st, all Vietnam veterans will be presented with a certificate on the day of the celebration. The Salyersville Masonic Lodge announces a haunted trail. It's coming up on October 4th, 5th, 11th, 12th, 18th, 19th, the 25th, the 26th, and the 31st. It's going to be held at 263 Upper Mash Fork Road, and that's off of US 460. Look for the signs. It's here in Salyersville. First group leaves at dark, and then there will be others to follow. $7 per person, and this may be the last haunted trail you ever attend. Check that out, folks. The Salyersville High School class of 1971 will be having a picnic in the park. It's coming up Saturday, October the 19th at 1 p.m. at the Ramey Memorial Park here in Salyersville. For more information, call 434-9971, 884-8151, or 205-9704. Coming up, it's the annual Christmas in November at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center, and it will be on Friday, November the 1st from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. and Saturday, November the 2nd from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Any vendor wishing to set up can contact the Community Center Director, Susie Salyer, at 349-2313 or 349-4409, and home phone number 349-4416, and you need to do so by October the 25th. Due to limited space, no booths will be allowed and up to 2 tables per vendor. Please come in and check out all the vendors there at Christmas in November. If you have a nonprofit organization, church group, or civic group, and you'd like to have your announcement heard here on Your News Today, you can send it to us, P.O. Box 1443, Salyersville, Kentucky, 41465, phone 606-349-3699, or you can fax it to us at 349-3221. Or send it via email at yournewstoday@yahoo.com. Don't forget that your community calendar is being brought to you by your local Farm Bureau.
In recognition of our grand reopening and in honor of you, Hutch Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in Paintsville is celebrating with employee pricing for everyone, and you keep the rebates on any new 2013 or 2014 car, truck, or SUV, and on all our pre-owned inventory. And register now with absolutely no purchase necessary for our grand reopening grand prizes. $10,000 in cash, $3,000 in cash, and 300 gallons of gasoline given away to someone on October the 26th at Hutch. It's so new it doesn't even have a name, but it does have an amazing taste all its own. 4 pancakes, butter, syrup, plus your choice of any of our dozens of DQ toppings with a little whipped cream on top, and of course some of our world-famous DQ soft serve. And you can add bacon, sausage, or even a little country ham for a full-blown breakfast treat. Or sink your taste buds into a quarter or even half-pound grill burger fixed exactly like you like it. And you want to know the best part? James says you can have either one for breakfast as early as you want, but only at your Salyersville DQ. Come on in, because the doors are open, the lights are on, and the shelves are being stocked every day with all those famous name brands you've come to love at Red's Boot Barn at their brand spanking new location in Salyersville on Route 114. That's right, already in sizes and styles by Wrangler, Carhartt, Area, and more. And new merchandise coming in every single day. Always the big names, always the big deals, always at Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville. From time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Salyersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Salyersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
Looks like this wet weather will continue the next little bit. Looks like tomorrow we do have showers in our forecast, but for tonight, cloudy, a low around 52 degrees, and some more showers possible. That's right, folks. Look like showers are likely mainly before 7 p.m. this evening. Cloudy and a low around 52 degrees. Chance of precipitation is 60%. Don't forget that your weather forecast is always powered by Licking Valley RECC. For your Thursday, looks like showers are likely mainly before 1 p.m. Cloudy with a high near 62 degrees. Calm wind becoming west-northwest around 6 miles per hour in the afternoon. Chance of precipitation is 60%. New precipitation amounts between a tenth and a quarter of an inch possible. For Thursday night, isolated showers before 10 p.m., patchy fog after midnight, otherwise mostly cloudy skies, and a low around 43. Chance of precipitation is 20%. For your Friday, looks like a pretty good day weather-wise, and that's good because we've seen that this rain and yuckiness just leads to nothing but trouble. Makes for getting around out and about, makes it hard and just kind of aggravating. So I'm glad to see that the weather forecast for the weekend is looking a little bit better. For Friday, sunny and a high around 65 degrees. Sounds pretty good to me. For your Friday night, partly cloudy and a low around 43. For your Saturday, a slight chance, a 20% chance of showers after 1 p.m., but still partly sunny skies and a high near 63 degrees. For your Saturday night, partly cloudy and a low around 42. For your Sunday, it's looking like sunny skies with a high near 63 degrees. And Sunday night, here's that 30 I was talking about earlier. And you all are probably thinking, that's not a big deal. It's just 39 degrees. But hey, it's looking about the same weather-wise for the next few days. So keep this in mind. Mostly clear skies Sunday night. A low around 39 degrees, but another sunny day on Sunday. So hopefully that weather will stay pretty. Looks like we're going to have sunny skies all the way through Tuesday. Don't know about y'all, but that weekend weather sounds pretty darn good to me. All right, folks, I'm Katie Clevenger. Thank you all for staying tuned in to your news today. I'll be here with you tomorrow. Got some great stories coming up tomorrow, so tune in for that. Have a wonderful evening, folks. Do take extra precautions out there on those roadways because, like I said earlier, we are going to see some showers throughout the night, possibly tonight and throughout tomorrow for your Thursday. So keep that in mind. Make sure you take extra time to get to your destination. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good one.